Freeman and Jair Davis, the two bigs. And Eddie Lampkin will start on the bench for this one. As we get it underway from the Dome, there's the Delaware transfer Jair Davis in the starting lineup. 17 points per game last year for Delaware. Might as well take advantage, though, Devo, of experimenting here in the exhibition games with some of these lineups.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what these two games are for. They have the depth to do it. They have the talent and versatility. They want to see what lineups have the chemistry, what lineups work good together. And it's a perfect time to do it, like you said, Tim.
Rare miss from three for Chris Bell. 42% last year, one of the top marks in the nation. Slippery Rock down their key starter, Maceo Austin. But a good program, 5 straight winning seasons at the Division II level. Waters a transfer in from Millersville. You got to think the goals for Slippery Rock are to play within themselves tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Grady said it on the call. You don't want to get outside yourself. You want to try to run your stuff, you know, play at a fast pace, even though they're outmatched and, you know, more talent on the other side. You want
Shot clock reads 10 for Jaquan Carlos. Bell will fire.
Well, we know Chris Bell can do that. Again,
rebound margin. Shot clock down to 3. Briggs puts it up at the timer. Donnie Freeman trapped inside does save it. Starling a clean look. And one for JJ.
When he just goes out and shoots the basketball, it looks clean, it's up, and he's getting his foul through.
Misfires. Donnie Freeman got a major size advantage, and he's rejected at the rim. O'Meach Wilson comes over, and defense into offense for Slippery Vision. Coaching staff raves about that. After a slow start, Slippery Rock has started to find the rhythm. They missed their first 7 shots. Jomo Goings nails that one from the elbow. Goings a good player. Got to put it up, they do. Almost a dunk on top of Jair Davis from Sheck Zamora. Orange quickly in transition, tees up Chris Bell.
We'll be saying that a lot this season. You know, he's going to be.
Coaching staff has been preaching, working on the defense. Elijah Moore, Kyle Coffin at the guard position for the first time. Naheem McLeod also out there. 7'4" center for the Cuse. Bobby Clifford off the mark. Goings offensive rebound. And the putback.
A little bit more old school. Go out there and compete for 40 minutes, and who's ever giving you the most effort and energy, those are the guys that stay out on the floor.
Jaquan Carlos is old school as well. A true point guard. A nice feed to Kyle Cuff, who will go to the line.
And he hurt.
Yeah. All these guys get an extra inch or two. Tall. I've liked what I've seen from him so far.
Yeah, I just like Peter. He's a guy who, you know, obviously comes.
Get it to go. Slippery Rock the other way.
And that's one of those, you know, you had a bad shot by Carlos, and when you get that rebound to him, you got to be able to go up and finish it.
Waters takes McLeod off the dribble. That's the thing with Naheem McLeod. Man-to-man defense, quick guards are going to expose him like that.
Yeah, and that's going to be, you know, something that Syracuse is going to have to figure out the whole year. Even with Eddie Lampkin, you know, at the 5 position, they're going to pick and roll you guys to death and see if he can play out that high and be able to get back into the rim.
Yet to see Eddie, he is available, and we expect him to be a starter throughout the season. Chapa Moore with bullseye from the corner.
Naheem, you hope he can give you 5 to 6 minutes just to back up, you know, Eddie Lampkin. You know, he's a guy who really has to set the tone, especially against a team like this.
Got a major size advantage. They throw it down low to McLeod. He gathers and slams it home.
He hurt us, Tim. He hurt, and that's what he has to do. Just make your presence felt. You're 7'4". You're not asking you to average, you know, 15 points and 10 rebounds. Go in there, be a presence defensively. If you catch the ball, keep it high, go up and finish strong.
Cloud didn't play until the second half in the first exhibition game. In here early. Yet to see Eddie Lampkin. Jumper for Waters is down.
Yeah, just a little bit about Slippery Rock. You talk about Waters. You know, Grady talked about him. He's a transfer from Millersville, I believe. You know, he can score the basketball. He's played at a high level. I mean, they got guys out here who can play basketball. So again, they're going to come out here and compete at a high level. And Coach Grady is trying to improve his basketball team as well.
Elijah Moore letting it fly.
They play defense, but he's definitely a guy that can come in and light it up in a hurry.
Maybe he's saving it for the official games. You can't pull out the elbow unless it really counts.
Smart. I hear that.
Good ball movement from the Rock and a nice finish. Michael Moore, the win. Of course, this is Division II competition. Coach Autry wants them to be even better than that.
Yeah, Tim, rebounding and defense is just more so about effort. Yes, we have to know it. And there you see right there, just no communications, not talking on the screen. Shot, they miss a shot. You have to be consistent with your effort and your energy on that side. He's not going to come out here and give you 25 and 15. You know, he guys in position, play defense, pressure the ball. Lucas Taylor, Jair Davis. You know, Davis is the guy who I want to be able to see more of, just inside banging. Taylor, he's kind of a Swiss Army, you know, from the 5 spot. DOHs, you know, a lot of those things.
Yeah,
so, yeah, absolutely. I mean, whenever you have guys who played at a high level and play.
Gotta think Coach Grady's pretty happy with how his team has come out of the gates here, Debo. Down 3 starters and hanging around.
Look, Tim, these guys might never get a chance to come and play again in the Dome. You see right there, Jomo going to call, man. They're going to come out here and play for 40 minutes.
Gotta have the ACC Network Extra.
Got
in this day and age.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of games. Kyle Cup to the rim. And one for Kyle. Roster this year for Syracuse, but you look at probably 12 guys right now, if you include Chance Westry when he gets healthy, feel like they should be in that rotation. And Kyle Cuff is definitely one of those guys on the fringes right now.
And you know, I think it's a good problem to have, you know, especially in practice, because you're challenging guys. You know, if one guy's not doing what they're supposed to do.
Stick preseason. Known for having a very active defense, getting in gaps, getting their hands in passing lanes. Donnie Freeman back out on the floor. Alongside Eddie Lampkin. Lampkin going to work. All kinds of pivot moves and drops it home. Up tempo. And you think about, Devo, when you were on the Syracuse roster, that's what the Cuse was known for, athletic teams that got up and down and flew, right?
Absolutely. I mean, that's what Syracuse, he's a Swiss Army knife. He's a guy who could shoot, he could drive, he could get out in transition. You know, you could put.
College career, we're at Wake Forest. Grew up in Raleigh. To come by in this exhibition so far. Taylor attacking into the lane. Shovels for Freeman.
Yeah, really just, you know, speaking on Taylor again, being able to get in the lane. Baby, you know, he's 18 years old. You see him right now pushing the ball, kicking it. You know, he's a guy that Cuse fans, you just got to enjoy him this year because.
Maybe the only year.
Yeah, he's most likely he's going to be gone.
Never been happy missing a shot. He likes every shot, and he's the type of guy that if he misses one, it's not really water off his back sometimes, but can't really blame him the way he shoots it. It's like 80% in practice, the coaches say.
Yeah, well, it's a sign of a competitor. You know, you want to make every single shot. Obviously, that's not going to happen, but, you know, when your guy is highly competitive, you know, you want to see that in your players.
First 3 of the game for Slippery Rock. Bobby Clifford makes them 1 for 11 from distance. Starling's floater is good. Starting point guard tonight because Slippery Rock is down their typical starter, Luke Howes. Orange forced the turnover. Starling trying to get it inside to Lampkin. He saves it. And a foul called against Donnie Freeman.
And, you know, that's something that, you know, J.J. Starling offensively, you know, with the Syracuse team, are they able to bring it?
Track and
Yes.
I don't know how you make predictions in the league now. Coach Grady said Check Samora is like an energizer off the bench for them. Got a lot of athleticism. See what Freeman can do. Nice pass. Eddie Lampkin wants his first college 3.
Well, hey,
unofficially, but it is his first.
Well, how about the pass from Donnie Freeman across court, a hook pass with the right hand all the way on point to Eddie Lampkin. And, you know, we talked about big men passing the ball.
He has added that to his game. Attempted one in the first exhibition game and just knocked down these bench guys, though. You think of Elijah Moore, Lucas Taylor, Kyle Cup. Those guys fighting.
Taylor coming out of D.C.
A good-looking shot. Off the side of the rim that time. Another good outlet pass. Chris Bell off to the races.
Oh, what a pass from Carlos. Just noticing that and being aware of that.
Day Waters, the Millersville transfer. Shot clock at 1. Oddtrex puts it up. The defense, but then you got to finish it with a rebound.
And you play defense for 35 seconds, and then you let an offensive rebound. Coach Red is going crazy, but athleticism and their length out there, just goes to show you that slippery
floor. Perfect at the charity stripe to this point. I didn't jinx him. Really exciting thing is he's still at his ascension right now.
Yeah, I mean, you got all the tools. He has the God-given abilities, being 6'11" and that long and athletic. It's sky's the limit for Donnie Freeman.
Good extra pass for Davis, and he buries it.
It's just good seeing Davis getting out there and making an impact. We know he can shoot the ball. A guy that comes from Delaware, averaging 17 points. He was the man on his team this year. So transition coming to Syracuse, Tim, is a little bit different. He has a little bit different role. He's not going to be a guy that's always going to see the ball like he did at Delaware. And what I always tell him, start inside and work your way out. Tim, he's a guy that's they're really not going to contest him a lot on those three. So you always need like a goon type guy in your team, and I look at him and I just think he can. Now they have to buy into a different role when they come to that high major school, and it could be a tough transition for some of these guys.
Davis, a prime example of that. 17 points, 8 rebounds. He was the guy, and so was Lucas Taylor for that matter. He shot more than anyone at Georgia State. Nice move by Goings to get to the line.
Yeah, it's more so about getting outside of yourself and do what they could do best for the Syracuse basketball team.
Does feel like coach, which is natural. I'm sure last year was a lot to take in.
Yeah, I mean, getting that first year under your belt, especially taking over for a Hall of Fame ball is on the rise. That's my thought.
Shot clock off here for the Cuse. A little bit of full court pressure. It took a little too long to get into the play before halftime of the last game. 5 seconds for Carlos. Moore's going to have to put it up. He passes. Bell in the corner. You bet. Chris Bell with his 4th three of the first half and an exclamation point to conclude half number 1. Scores with 14 in that first half. Chapa Moore finds Bell in the corner. And it's all Cuse after the first half.
Defensively, Chris Bell with a great contest, making it a tough shot. I mean, that's something that he can do on a consistent basis. He's capable of defending the ball at a high level.
Dribble handoff to Starling. Open look for Jair Davis. His 2nd triple already.
I'm his little coach team, and I just remember seeing the pace and the freedom that Coach Boeheim let those guys play with. And, right then and there, I changed my mind. I told my coach sitting to my left, I said, hey, we got to make a call up to Syracuse and see what's going on with these guys. So, the rest is history.
So much year one. He's got some veterans on this team that can help him a little bit.
And absolutely, because as a freshman player, you're going to have those learning curves. You're going to have those highs and lows of a season. So it's good to have those veteran guys, who've been there, who've been through the highs and lows. As you see, J.J. Starling.
Good shooter. Leaves that one off the front iron. Another good outlet pass. Carlos underneath for Donnie Freeman. A hard foul as Michael Moore slid over.
And Tim, you see the lineup.
An athletic lineup out there right now. Freeman's first 18 or more points.
And he's a guy that you look at him and I guess you'll see.
That constantly got to the foul line. Maybe Donnie Freeman will be that guy this year. He's 7 for 8 from the line tonight. Davis on the takeaway. Taylor, nice pass in the corner all day for Chris Bell. Davis trying to flush it home, and a foul is called.
And Tim, that's what I'm talking about with Davis. On the Syracuse basketball team, the enforcer, the guy who was aggressive at the rim. Going back to you talking about, Judah Mintz getting to the free throw line, and I don't know if Donnie Freeman's going to get to the. You don't see many guys who have that ability to get by the defenders and finish over big guys and just be in control in that paint. He was outstanding player for the Orange.
Uncanny at getting to the line. That's lofty goals to get to that point, but point is with Mintz.
You don't want to turn into just a perimeter shooting team and live and die by the 3. You want to be able to have that back.
Played his prep ball at IMG Academy. They're not playing a ton at the Division I level at Winthrop. First year at Slippery Rock. Some bounce there from Sheck Zamora.
I haven't talked about it a lot, but they're missing 3 of their 5 starters right now. You talk about Austin, who is out on the floor.
Maceo Austin was 17 points per game last year, a Duquesne transfer. McLeod Extra pass from Carlos. He's just so unselfish.
Yeah, that's what you want to see, just the extra pass. I mean, it's a veteran point guard. He knows how to make the extra pass. What I want to see on the other end is Naheem McLeod getting better. Team, they were coming in. I think they won 12 straight. We ended up beating that Jeff Green. It had to be 30,000 in the Dome that night. So some really good memories playing.
And on cue, he makes a play with his size. That's all you need, right?
Dude, you're 7'4". Put your hands straight up in the air. It's going to be tough to make a shot over you, and you saw it right there. And just right now, turn and go up, big fella. He's a guy who move up and down a little bit and side to side a little bit. And, you know, he's going to cover area just by taking one big step. So he could be effective, you know, for the Syracuse team.
Nice block inside on Lucas Taylor. Here's Samora feeding Goings. Almost gets it to roll in, but he'll go to the line for 2 shots.
He's athletic. He can get to the rim. He can shoot the basketball. We talked about him, and he's one of the better players.
Tasked with playing point guard, which is not his natural Kansas transfer. Taylor down the alley. A friendly fire on the follow. Bobby Clifford. Unkind roll, but he will go to the line.
But can you lock in on the defensive side of the ball? Can you rebound the basketball and secure the...
Last year was going to be a deep team, and then they're, you know, going into a shorter bench in ACC play. But this does feel like a team, knowing how Red wants to play up-tempo, that we're going to see a lot of almost hockey line changes in some of these games.
Yeah, and you don't want to read too much into it, you know, right now. Obviously, he's experimenting with, you know, with different lineups. As you see Chopper Moore in high school, you know, he's scoring 60, 70 points, and you know, he's shooting the ball at a high clip, and he's efficient shooting the ball. You see, woo!
Up in the spin cycle, gets it back, 5 to shoot. Lucas Taylor lines it up.
Yeah, speaking about shooters, you know, Taylor's another guy who can knock it down. And going back to Moore, he's just a guy that's going to get, you know, he's going to get opportunity to shoot the ball, and if he knocks it down, it's just going to be more playing time for him. But, you know, Taylor's another guy who's capable as well. You see, you know, Clifford knocking it down. Slippery Rock's not going to quit. You know, you talk to the grade, he's not going to quit. He's going to have his guys play for 40 minutes. Syracuse has to, you know, compete for the whole game.
Chapa again. Waiting on that bullseye celebration, but he has, for those that don't follow him on TikTok, he's got a lot of followers apparently on TikTok. He's got a tattoo on his left elbow that is a bullseye, which has become his celebration, at least in the high school ranks. After a 3, he would flash it. Almost got number 5 there. Storovich, and then McLeod cleans it up.
And I knew about when he was TikTok famous when my daughter said something to me about him. He said, "Dad, who is this from plays for Syracuse? He's a new guy." And I looked at it and I said, "Oh, that's Chopper Moore. He's a guy who can really shoot the ball." But yeah, he's a guy that he has to be able to bring it on both ends of the floor. We know he can do it offensively, but to expand his game.
In his career at the Air Force Academy. On 3 key starters going into this. And the score is going to be to event.
Yeah, they're going to continue to compete. You know, Coach Grady, you know, he's at his 7th season and 16th season with the program, and he's built a great program. I don't think he has one losing season, so he's a guy that's going to have his guys ready and just, you know, compete for 40 minutes. And you see New York City guard, and, you know, Harlem, you know, it's a tough, you know, get more minutes with the Syracuse basketball team.
Boarded by Elijah Moore. In transition to Taylor for 3. Oh! And McLeod too tall down low. Just under 10 minutes remaining. McLeod can't collect the lob. Slippery Rock in transition. Day Waters. Cuff was often tasked with guarding one of the best guys on the other team last year. He's going to disagree with that call.
Lackadaisical, but, you know, I think the coaching staff has done a great job of preaching, you know, stay.
In time for the first game against Lemoyne next month.
Yeah, you know, I think as we go into the season, go forward into the year, he's going to have to be able to knock down that shot. I think a lot of times, you know, they're going to start to go under the screen and rolls on him. He's going to have to, you know, show guys that he's capable of knocking down the 3-pointer, and I think he is.
Carlos, out of the game now, had 6 assists when he was out there. 20 assists on 26 made baskets. McLeod will go to the line.
Their game, other areas of the game. We talked about, you know, Chopper Moore and, you know, being a shooter and a great offensive.
Splits a pair. Taylor on the offensive glass. Bowens a three. Boarded by Clifford to Goings in traffic. Waters will trigger. Here by Storovich. For that a whistle.
You know, one thing I love about, you know, guys that come over, it's something like. But yeah, Peter, just a guy who's leg, Marcus Burton, R.J. Davis, Hunter Silas, just to name a few of those guys. I think the ACC is one of the most talented conferences, top to bottom in the country. So, you know, regardless of what they say, the ACC is going to be competitive just like they are every single year.
Three. Just two teams ranked in the top 25 for the ACC, Duke and Carolina, both inside the top 10. Wake Forest picked to finish third in the league.
A whole new squad, you know, a whole new 13 guys or 12 guys or whatever it is, separate themselves. But, you know, I think it's going to be a fun season to watch in the ACC with a lot of competitive.
Seen a lot of that because of the injuries for Slippery Rock. Ryan Otrix, nice dish inside, and Moore spins and scores.
Yeah, I tell you what, despite the score.
If the Orange can get past the 100-point mark again, Elijah Moore's had a really nice game, trying to find Majstorovic on the pocket pass. 2-on-1 the other way, Waters and one.
And that's a tough rim. That's one where you put up in the air for Peter and, you know, let him go up and get it and finish high.
That was the first. Backs it out. Cuff on the blow by. And at the summit by Moore. Great shot blocker.
And I like the aggression. I like the attempt. The 5'10" going against 6'9".
Jair Davis on the throwdown. Goings rises. Too strong on the jumper. Otrix intercepts the pass. Back to Jomo Goings. Strong take. A nice finish inside by Omich.
You know, you're playing more or you're playing less.
Sticking with that small ball lineup they had right before the break. On a run for Lucas Taylor in the second half. Fall away jumper, good for Taylor.
I mean, if you're...
or rather 15 for 31. I was looking at free throws, but still 15 made threes.
Yeah, if you're shooting the ball like that from the three-point, you better win the game. You know, it's just, if not, it's going to be one of two things. You're not rebounding the ball or you're just letting the other team score every single time. Could be a, you know, a quick scorer off the bench. He's a guy who could pressure the ball and cause turnovers, and you also can handle it and push the pace.
Majstorovic inside to Cuff. Off the glass for two.
Tough, strong finish by Cuff. On the dome floor, the Jim Boeheim court, you know, it's a dream come true for a lot of these guys.
Every former player speaks on how this is an underrated role, being good on the scout team, hitting shots and making that team pay when you get a chance out there.
Former managers talk about Matt Reynolds. He has an NBA championship with the Boston Celtics. So, you know, a lot of these guys are just learning, you know, the game of basketball and the business of basketball. And
look at Chaz Owens.
Chaz Owens. Shout out to Billy Owens.
Chaz back with a kiss. With that Starling facial reaction on a GIF. Get that out there for social media. Games, Lemoyne is next for the Cuse Monday night. Slippery Rock will start their season next Friday night against Shaw. Shot clock under 10. Nice take there from Malik Robinson into the game for Slippery Rock. Shot clock now off for Anthony Clayton. And Robinson picks his pocket. Colin McQuiston drops it back for Bowens. Buzzer beater time deep.
Go ahead, get one up, get one up.
A fun way to end this one. And how about a final thought, Devo? 96-51, the Cuse over Slippery Rock. And two exhibitions, they've looked pretty good so far.
Yeah, I mean, they're showing their depth, they're showing their talent. Obviously, they're showing their shooting ability, hitting 15 threes. A slow first half start, but